I'm all about that sweet, sweet loot, and I'm sure there are a bunch of you out there that are the same way. If that's the case, then it's a good thing that in this here podcast, we're going to dive as deep as we can into the equipment and loot that players will be hunting down in our game. I've got a couple of veteran game designers here with me, so let's get stuck in. I'm Hamish Bode, and you're listening to the official The Division podcast. Welcome to the podcast, guys. How's it going?
It's going all right. Hi.
All right, who do I have here with me today?
Hi, Hamish. So my name is Mathieu. I'm a game designer on The Division. I've been working on PvP and stats and a bunch of other things.
Cool. All right. And what do you do?
So I'm Marcus. I'm also a game designer on Division. I've been working on the RPG system and balancing mostly.
All right.
And I've been on the project since the start.
Since the start, so you know hopefully everything.
Well, a lot of things, but not everything, I think. But
that's the thing. The game is so big that whenever I play it, and I say this every time, I find out something new that I didn't expect or I didn't see. And I was like, oh, we're doing that. That's a thing?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. It happens to me as well. And I think that's the best part of actually being in game development is that you see new things, even if you're working on it.
Yeah.
And it's exciting and brings new things to your workday, basically, because otherwise it would be kind of dull if you all knew everything.
Exactly. Especially at this part in the project when all of the stuff is coming in thick and fast, where it's like everything's just getting in there and we're getting a game that's really, really fun. Have you guys been playing it much?
Yeah, we've been playing a lot recently. We had a big playtest the other day. We played for 6 hours straight.
Nice.
And I can tell you, like, there's a bunch of things I didn't even know were in the game because it's such a big project.
Yeah.
And people are so passionate. Like, they put small little details that you don't even know about in all corners of the game. So it's really awesome.
It's a lot of fun to discover those things. Yeah, looking at the environment, playing the game, testing different things that other people has done and you haven't worked on yourself. Yeah. And just exploring and finding out things.
There's that new system, the ground fog system, that like, oh my God, when I saw that.
Yeah, or like the thing with deformable trash when you walk on top of it. It's like, it's crazy, those things.
Yeah, I love that people are putting that effort into things that are like, to be honest, we probably don't need them, but like they make things so much cooler.
Yeah, exactly. Like the sum of all those small details make the game feel so much more realistic.
All right, so we're talking a lot about other people. Let's talk about all right, that's enough. Let's talk about what you guys do. Today we're going to focus on things like equipment and loot and the things that people find in the game to make their character stronger and those sorts of things. Explain to me what, as a player jumping into the game for the first time, what am I going to want to find? What am I going to want to do?
Yeah.
In terms of loot, like what am I looking for?
So first of all, the game is a shooter, so you're gonna want to find a good weapon. That's the main thing. But it's not only a shooter; it's also an RPG. Mm-hmm. So we have a bunch of systems in place where you want to get the best gear possible. That's gonna boost your stats, and you want to have the gun that suits your playstyle. And you can use anything from a pistol to a sniper rifle to a shotgun. And all this works in conjunction with skills. So, for example, you could equip a ballistic shield and have a pistol on the side. So you want to specialize in pistols. Mm-hmm. And if you want to do that, there's gear that supports pistol playstyle.
How do you mean supports? Like what kind of things am I looking for if I'm the pistol guy? Yeah. What are they going to be the things that are most attractive to me?
So you're gonna want stuff that boosts your pistol damage, obviously, but you're also gonna want stuff that works, that synergizes with it. Like for example, if you're using a pistol, it's pretty good to use a shield. So in the scenario where you use a shield and a pistol, you want to have something that's gonna, for example, be good at close range because you're gonna be in the face of the enemy. Some stuff that's good for mobility because you want to get there quickly. That kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. And as Mathieu said, it's an RPG, so a lot of your damage doesn't actually come from the gun. About 60% of the damage comes from the gun, the rest comes from the rest of your gear. So you can, for example, boost your firearms capabilities with the gear, and you can find weapon type specific bonuses on certain parts that will give extra damage, and you can increase your critical hit chance and everything like that.
Okay, all right. So let's go a little bit more into that, because I think that's the thing that people have been asking about. Like how exactly do the stats work on the items? How is it going to? What's my final loadout going to look like? And I think the best thing to do for this would be to maybe talk about what your ideal loadout would be for each of you. Mm-hmm. And then as a player, what are you looking for? Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I see, I'm going to be a sniper, but that's just me. What about you?
So basically what we have is, we have these levels in the game, from 1 to what max level will be.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have different qualities of gear as well. So you can find, for example, a level 5 protective vest,
mm-hmm.
and it's a quality of a low quality item with maybe 1 bonus on it, and
mm-hmm.
the quality decides how many different bonuses that thing will have, and also how wide the actual bonus will be in terms of min and max, and the level also decides how much it will be in min and max. So you can, for example, if you have the level 5 vest will maybe give plus 3% weapon damage.
All right. Okay. That's the intricacies of it. And so people could like literally try and find that protective vest, and they have to find different ones.
Yes.
And then try and,
because as I said,
see if they can get the best roll.
The quality defines how many bonuses you have. So if you have, for example, 3 different bonuses, and they are all randomized which ones you get. You might get a combination that's, this one I don't want, but then you find that one which is, this one is awesome, you want that one, but then one of them had a small roll of the bonus, and you want to find another one with exact same bonuses, but all of them should be a high roll.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That gives a bit more.
Yeah. So basically, when you get to max level, what you want to hunt for is orange gear. Orange is our best quality. Basically, you have to be a certain level to find certain qualities, and at end game you want to be full orange. That's your goal as a gamer, because you're gonna get the most bonuses, and you're gonna get the most attributes as well. And attributes is another layer to the gear game.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, your character has 3 main attributes that we call firearms, stamina, and electronics.
Okay.
And those attributes do different things. First of all, passively, firearms will improve your overall damage with weapons.
Okay.
Stamina will increase your health. And electronics will improve your skill power, or the effect your skills have on the game.
Okay.
So the more skill power you have, the better a skill is. And it's different for all skills, which exact effect this has. For example, the pulse is going to pulse longer, further. The ballistic shield will take more damage before it breaks. The seeker mine will explode and deal more damage, and on a larger radius, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'm actually learning a lot. This is really really good.
But we're not done yet.
Okay, you're not done. Keep going, please.
Yeah, you'll see. Like the where it becomes really interesting, and that's gonna be the end game stuff. The end game thing, I think, is that weapons can have what we currently call weapon unlockables. So those are unlockable abilities on your weapons.
Abilities, okay.
Yeah. So they are like talents, if you want. So a weapon can have a special ability that's attached to it. For example, a big boost to your critical hit damage, or some more exotic stuff like you regain some health every time you do a critical hit. Or stuff like when you use a medkit, you deal more damage for a few seconds. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
We have a bunch of those. It's going to be fun to find them in the game. But what you want to do is to have all of those unlocked on your weapon. To have your weapon as strong as possible.
Okay.
And the way you unlock those abilities is through attributes. So for example, you have this unlockable that gives you health every time you kill an enemy.
Sure.
But for it to be enabled, you need to have sufficient amount of stamina. The attributes come from your gear pieces, and the unlockables are on your weapon. So you have a weapon where you want enough stamina for the unlockable to become enabled, and the stamina comes from your gear. So you want to find gear pieces with stamina for your weapon to reach its full potential.
Okay.
So it's a pretty deep system where...
Yeah, there's a lot there.
It's pretty deep. Like the gear game at end game is going to be... it's kind of a puzzle where you want to find the best gear and you want to find the best combinations between gear and weapons.
Especially since you can have 2 weapons at the same time. And the pistol, and they all have unlockable abilities on them. So preferably you would want to unlock the abilities on all of them, because when you switch a gun, you want to have the other gun also have the abilities active.
Okay, so if I'm not using, say, my secondary and I have my primary active,
yes, it's
the abilities from the secondary...
No, it's only on the primary that's currently active, but when you switch, you want them to be active as soon as you switch.
Okay.
So only the abilities...
Well. Yes.
Yeah, only the abilities on your currently equipped weapon are active.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but this might sound a little complicated, but this is the end game. This is the stuff you're going to be working or playing with. So this stuff is introduced progressively. At the beginning of the game, you only have white and then green items, and those don't have those unlockables. It comes with blue quality.
So, okay.
Yeah, so legendary items are really powerful.
Yes.
The orange items.
All right, so I'm going to want those. Okay, I'm the guy that wants all the legendary items, and that's the truth. That's my MO.
Who doesn't?
Exactly, right? We talked a little bit in the last one. I did a podcast with Emil and Drew about characters and that sort of thing. We talked about vanity. Are there legendary vanity items? Which seems like a bit of a conundrum because there's no stats assigned to vanity items.
Not as far as I know, no.
Okay.
I mean...
There's rare stuff,
in that case, the quality would only be used for saying that this is harder to find than something else. But they don't actually do any, since they don't have any stats or any abilities or anything, they're just for visuals.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything per se.
No. But then I can say I have a legendary hat.
You could.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
if you want to do that. But,
I do want to do that.
But on the other hand, since it is so much for visuals, and taste, it doesn't actually mean that it looks cooler maybe for you.
But I can tell my friends. That's important.
You could. People would know about it.
People
I
would
like
know. That guy's got the legendary hat, man.
Yeah. I don't know if we have those.
Okay. I'll put in a request.
Yeah, you should talk to the hat people.
Yeah, the hat designers. Yes. I wish we had just hat designers.
All
right.
That's a new title, not you.
Thank God we don't have one.
I love it. Okay. Oh, wait. We didn't answer the question. What type of gear are you looking for?
Yeah.
Start again. Matthew, how are you going to play?
So, so far there's a playstyle I really like, and kind of mentioned it earlier. I really like playing with a riot shield and a pistol.
Yep.
I think it's really fun because you're in front, you're in the middle of the action. And there are a bunch of synergies with that. It's really cool. Yeah, you can be quite precise with the pistol, so you can spec for headshot damage, for example, and critical hit, and everything that regenerates your health quicker is good because you still take some damage despite the shield.
Sure.
Also, skill cooldown is good because as soon as your shield breaks, you want to be able to pop a new one.
Yep.
So I'm having a lot of fun with that build.
Okay, that's interesting. And then, so that's the build. Are there any other special gear bonuses that would work for that other than the health regen and that sort of thing?
I guess you
crit
could
headshot.
Yeah, crit headshot. You could go for more protection, basically resistance to different types of effects. Yeah, I think that mitigation of exotic damage would be a good one.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
What's your other... So you have the riot shield. What's the other skill that you usually have in that build?
I've been playing around with the heal recently. Because I kind of like turning into a support when I have a chance to. So the heal is really good for me, but you can also throw the heal at someone else.
Yes.
So it's pretty good skill.
I know that you can use the sticky bomb with the riot shield up, which is really cool. Can you do the same with the healing?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm learning more and more things. Okay, how about you, Marcus?
So I like assault rifles and I like the marksman rifles. I like to be far away and having a good scope on my rifle.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then what kind of stats for that type of play style would you be looking for in your gear?
Well, preferably more weapon damage, since if I'm at the rear, I don't need to put myself as much at a risk as he does.
Okay.
So I don't need as much health, so I don't put as much in stamina.
So you go straight up glass cannon?
Yeah, kind of the glass cannon.
Yeah, full firearms.
Yes.
Nice. All right. I think that's how I'm going to play too.
Is it?
Yeah, I like that. I like just dishing out as much damage as possible, throwing in a sticky bomb, engage, and then just shoot everyone in the face.
If you play in a group, it's really good. If you play solo, you need to be a bit more balanced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't do that solo. Otherwise, you just end up trying to kite everything and just run away. That doesn't work. No. That doesn't work. Okay, so I last time when I did the podcast with Drew and Emil, I asked people on Twitter to send in their questions, but I did it about 24 hours before I actually ended up recording, and Reddit got sad. The subreddit, and I felt really bad. So I made sure I gave them enough lead time to send in some questions. So I'm sorry that at the Division subreddit, it's not my fault. Well, it is, but I feel bad. Okay, so we're gonna take some of their questions and get as much as we can. Okay, this one's good. Boomslang or Caleb, backpacks. How do they work? Stats, perks, etc. Backpacks.
So what we do in general is that each gear piece will have a theme. The vest is more protective things. The knee pads is a survival thing. Maybe doesn't really make sense, but that's the theme we gave it. The backpack is skill based. So we're probably gonna try to give it a skill bonus always, and from the start of purple or better. It's also, when it comes to the different gear types, is that they have a pool of bonuses, all of them, but it's different depending on which gear type it is. So for example, skill power, you can get skill power not only from the electronics attribute, but you can also get it free, also separate bonus on gear. And the backpack is one of the few item types that has that bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, as Marcus was saying, like all the gear slots, they are themed. And the backpack is, when you play the game, you can see that your skills are attached to the backpack. So the theme for backpack is skills. So it's going to boost everything that's related to skills.
Yeah, that's something that we I knew was kind of there, but I saw it for the first time the other day, where if you have skills, they'll have a different appearance on your backpack.
Exactly.
Right?
You can see, there's a visual representation of your skills on your character on
so
the
for
backpack.
Example, but those are attached to your backpack. So when you're walking around, people
exactly.
If people are paying enough attention, they'll be able to see what skills you have equipped.
Yep.
Okay. That's kind of a cool Dark Zone tip, I think. All right.
Yeah, don't spread those.
Okay. Yeah, we're meant to be the only ones that know these things, especially at launch, because we have all the power on launch day, and then we're going to get destroyed.
Yeah, we're going to get destroyed within 3 days, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's a free tip.
Players are too good.
Look at people's backpacks to see what they have equipped.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Damn. All right. I shouldn't have given that away. Langevin 7. All right. Which one of these can I do? All these guys have put about 100 questions in, but I'm going to go through the ones that I think we actually can talk about. Actually, this one's good for you, Matthew. How does the contamination level affect our gear? Does it have to be decontaminated? As well, will any other gear raise our resistance to the contamination level besides our mask? So I think contamination is a little bit confusing for some people. How does that work?
So basically there are 1 to 4 levels of contaminations in the world, and it's not only in the Dark Zone. It can be, you will find contamination areas in the world that will require a certain amount of gas mask filters to, so you can go into it, so you can enter it. And the gas mask always have 1 point. So you can, any contamination area with just contamination 1 you can enter.
Okay. What happens if I try and enter a zone that is too contaminated for my current level of gear?
I mean, you can stay in it for 10 seconds and then you get contaminated and it's game over and respawn. So
you die. All right.
Die,
so don't do that.
Don't do that, no.
That's a bad idea.
But when it comes for the gear in the Dark Zone, for example, the contamination level won't affect it. It's either contaminated or not, and you need to extract it. And
yeah, everything's contaminated in the Dark Zone.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This one, actually on the Dark Zone buzz. Does Dark Zone loot differ from regular loot, and how?
So enemies in the Dark Zone in general are tougher. So the chances for you to find better gear are quite high.
Okay.
So yeah, go to the Dark Zone, you'll find some better loot there.
Okay, but the loot doesn't differ in the stats on it in terms of...
No, the stats are the same. It's the same type of loot. It's just better quality overall.
Okay, because you're risking.
Yeah, because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a good one. All right. Okay, Robbie. Well, Night Robbie. This one's cool too. Does equipment have to be repaired?
No, you don't need to repair your equipment.
Okay, that's good. I don't like that. Deep Fried Dave from the podcast. He has an amazing voice. We're going to have to get him on at some point. Will some of the weapon and equipment mods have their own set attributes which factor into the power scores, which we've kind of talked about? E.g., if a certain red dot sight is equipped, you'll gain a 2% buff to your critical hit possibility. And then he jokingly misspells my name because apparently that's a thing now.
Ooh. Yeah, weapon mods will actually have bonuses on them as well.
Yeah.
They will have up to 2 bonuses, depending on the quality. And there is it's depending on what type it is, it also has different bonuses. So for example, a silencer always has threat reduction, for example, but then it can get 1 additional bonus, which is random. Scopes can get critical hit chance, for example, and so on.
Okay, all right.
Essentially, everything you can equip in the game, except for vanity, is going to make your character stronger one way or another. So it's really about the big gear puzzle to get the character build you like the most.
Because there's a lot of min-maxing you can do for your build. Okay. Yeah, because you really are going to want to maximize exactly the synergies between all your gear and your skills and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I just want to make it clear that it's not because you don't have the best gear in the game that you won't be able to compete PvP-wise.
Yeah.
Skills, I mean, player skill, being able to aim and shoot correctly is still like the most important.
Yeah.
If you can't aim and shoot correctly, you won't be able to win a fight in the Dark Zone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is exactly the experience I have every time I play with the QC guys. Like, it's terrible. Don't. It's so bad because obviously everyone has the same loadout, the same level of gear, but I can't kill them. They're they're too good. All right. We're going to have to put a pro team together of QC guys. Not me. I'm really bad. All right. So this is a question from me. How does it work with the legendary items? Are they preset? Like, are they what I would consider to be named items? Like,
no,
or are
they're not really named
completely
per se. They are basically as randomized as all other items in the game.
Okay.
The only difference is that they get these additional abilities, basically, for gear, and that they get more of bonuses and more of everything.
Okay, so there's technically there's not a finite amount of legendary SMGs or
no.
No, they are generated, so you can get any combination of bonuses we have, which is a lot. However, there are rumors about named stuff, but I can't say more.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. Okay. Will the sidearm still have infinite ammo in the final game?
Yes.
Yes. That's cool. Good. All right. Easy question, easy answer. Will there be a cooldown on grenades and med packs?
So we are looking at that right now. We're in the middle of a big PvP balancing pass. So we want to make sure that this can be abused, of course.
Sure.
Right now, we're not using cooldowns as a solution. Instead, we did some tweaks, for example, on medkits, where when you use a medkit, it takes a little bit of time before the effect happens.
Okay.
But also, what you get from the initial shot is just a little bit of health, and then most of the health is actually regenerated over time.
Okay.
The thing is that if you take damage during that time, the regeneration effect is interrupted. So you have to be careful. You can't spam medkits to heal yourself and run out of cover. That doesn't work. You're just going to heal a little bit, but then most of the effect is going to be wasted.
All right, but you're going to want to stay in cover and make sure you get all that regen.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That sounds like clarities.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dota players would kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Okay, now we're moving on to Twitter peoples, because I'm glad that we managed to get some for the Reddit folks, and All right. Those last ones were from Joker Unique, who's always there, doing all the community work and kicking ass. That guy's awesome. He I think knows more about the game than a lot of people. Yeah, it's like myself. Yeah. He's like scoured everything. Okay. Matthew Lawrence on Twitter asks, how much customization will we have for the look of our equipment? Can each item have a different appearance?
So you can change the appearance of your weapons. There are weapon skins you can find in the game. They drop and you can equip them to weapons.
And the mods will have a small visual
Absolutely.
change as well,
Modding your weapon.
Scopes and...
the weapon looks really different once it's modded.
All right.
So weapons can look really, really cool or really silly if you like pink weapons.
Okay. I love pink weapons.
Then we have a lot of different models for the gear as well, though it's tier-based, so depending on what level it is, you get different models, and also quality defines what model you get. So the character art has tried to make sure that the higher level and the higher quality it is, the cooler it looks. And then you have on top of that the vanity items, of course, and each vanity item comes in 4 different colors, so you can try to find them all and change your visuals by that.
All right. Yep. That's good. Wolf of Cherno asks, also, will we find loot that pertains to a certain building, like pharmacy, medicine, food, or will it be random? So if I go into a pharmacy, will I find things that are relevant to that space, or? Yeah,
you're right about materials. Some materials are more likely to appear in certain buildings.
Okay, so if I'm looking for materials of a certain type and I see like a building that might have it, I know kind of, I might go over there and find something.
Yeah.
All right. That kind of answers that one. We have one more from Bromeo Gaming. I like this one. Will there be skins to unlock for the guns? Capital D, so that's a nice big smiley face. Also, the hype. Can't wait.
Me either. They're all weapon skins.
Weapon skins,
skins.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
Quite a few of them, yes. They're cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Yes, you guys have to get into meetings now, so I will let you go and get back to work because we have a beta to get ready for.
Oh, yeah.
Which
is still a lot of polish to do.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's going to be fun to play.
Absolutely. And, looking forward to have the players try it.
Yeah. Me too.
All right. I'll make sure that all their opinions come at you thick and fast, so you guys know exactly what they think. All right, thanks, guys. Before you shut down your ears, I'd like to remind you that you should follow this podcast on SoundCloud, and that you can always find the latest news on our Twitter, Facebook, and the official forums. All right, that's all for now. Talk soon.